Alrighty, fellas, good morning. My name is Patrouski, and welcome back to the PokeMMO stream recap, your daily source of tips, tricks, information, communication, discussion, and what's happening inside the PokeMMO community every single day. Giving you guys a recap of what this Turbo Online, amazing, beautiful MMO community is discussing. And I just got a person in chat, Plumeria. I saw your video on TikTok, and I started playing PokeMMO because of your content. Dude, I cannot... That warms my heart so much. I was saying for years, and I still have a lot to work on. I have a lot to work on when it comes to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram. I'm not good at those types of content. I am more of an unedited Andy. I'm more of a, I'm a yapping kind of guy. So that short form content, I'm honestly, I'm not great at it. And I said for years, PokeMMO is a type of game that should clean up on those types of websites, should clean up on social media like that, because it's a thing that a lot of people want. Oh, Pokemon, old school Pokemon you can play through with your friends. That's great. Like it's beautiful. It's the best Pokemon game you've never heard of is always like the phrase, right? And I always told people, bro, I would love for more content creators to please go do more TikTok content. Please go do more YouTube Shorts. Please, this game could be so much more popular, but we as content creators have to adapt. And I'm trying my best. And thanks to the help of my beautiful wife, she is so much better at that short form content than I am. And she helps me a lot with that sort of format. And it's amazing. Still, it's amazing to hear people actually learning about the game from that. Like reach and reaching new people is where PokeMMO I feel like needs to be right now personally. Next up, let's jump into the actual stream recap stuff. We have some lots of catch events, lots of things to cover today. Let's go ahead and get into it, okay? We have new catch events scheduled as well. First things first, what's hiding there? Wednesday the 15th of October. Wednesday the 15th of October at 3 p.m. ET. This is coming up really soon, actually. This is in 2 days. Really coming up. I will be playing this catch event on stream, almost certainly. A Rotom catch event, Old Chateau Sinnoh. You're going to have 1 hour to catch Rotom, Ghastly, with nature bonuses, +5 for Timid, +3 for Quiet, -3 for Bold. I believe the strategy, someone confirmed that Ghastly is 100% Quick Ball catch. The strategy is most likely going to be Timid, Synchronized Lead into Quick Ball the Ghastlies. If Nest Ball works as well, you want to use that because it's just a cheaper Quick Ball, but it depends. We'll have to calculate more things closer to the event itself. You have a chance to win a beautiful Rotom, a 6x31, a 6x0 if you want it to be. People get turned off when the prizes aren't shinies from the events. Rightfully so. Like, shinies are way better. Don't get me wrong. But if you're going to ever win a non-shiny catch event, this is one of the best ones to do. This is one of the absolutely best ones to do because Rotom is literally top of the meta in every single PvP format. In OU, you use Rotom Wash. In UU, you use Rotom Heat and Rotom Mow. And then in NU, you use base form Rotom. Like, they're top 10 Pokemon in every single PvP tier they're legal in. Rotom is so good. You could use it whatever. Yeah, it's so powerful. So definitely check it out. Next up, to talk about a really good shiny prize from a catch event. A Ponyard catch event on Sunday the 19th of October at 2 p.m. ET at Route 9 in Unova. 1 hour to catch Ponyard, Duosion, Garbodor, Liepard, and Minccino. Nature bonus Adamant, and there is a shiny Ponyard up for grabs. Very, very good single encounter shot. It could save you hundreds of hours by winning this catch event, as well as free RP. You want to win free RP now. Right now is the best time to win free RP prior to event season, especially as Iron Man. I really want to get free RP. Even like, dude, because the new Halloween Vanity is back, because the new Ghostly, not new, excuse me, but because the Ghostly Pointed Hat has returned, the seasonal vanity that pops up. Also, once this should be over here on the front page. Usually this is like on the featured page. That's how you know it's like when the seasonal vanities come back, when they're like brand new and they're just barely coming back, they're always hidden over in like the vanity items. But as it becomes like closer to Halloween time, it'll pop up over here in the like featured page. So it's how you can really like be ahead of certain Pokemon updates and see what's coming by keeping an eye on stuff like that. Someone just got a Pheno shiny Excadrill in global chat. Oh, I will keep an eye out for that. That is crazy to happen to see live like that. Thank you for the update, Tom. The next up, the duo catch. There's always, dude, so much happening. Even during like where we're just, a lot of us are waiting for the events or waiting for it to happen. So much crazy stuff happening. It's really cool to see. Like even during, we're getting off topic, but it's an important conversation. I'm a little terrified for how crazy queue times are going to be during the Halloween event. I think so many people are going to return to the game for the Halloween event. I think so many people are taking a break and looking forward to the Halloween event. I think that PokeMMO is more popular than ever, but a lot of people are like, PokeMMO is a very on and off game for a lot of people. And when events come, everybody comes back. And you really see how big. You really see like the flood of like the fucking from Halo, like the flood of PokeMMO players coming in. I think the queue is going to be crazy. If you want to avoid queue, be on early or donator status. Donator status. If you have a donator status, I would pop it on like October 30th at like 5 p.m. ET, something like that. They might drop the update. Historically, they have dropped the update at around 8 p.m. ET or midnight UTC on October 31st. Which if they drop the update on October 31st, like that's actually October 30th, right? If it's midnight UTC October 31st, that's actually October 30th. So that always shakes people up. So we'll have to keep an eye out. Anyways, back to today's stuff. Okay, I'm excited for the events. Duo catch event on the 22nd of October, Wednesday. I selfishly love the middle of the week catch events. 1 p.m. each because I can stream them easily. 1 p.m. ET, Route 18 Kanto, Doduo, Dodrio, Rattata, Raticate, +5 for Jolly, -3 for Naughty as the nature bonuses. Shiny Doduo, I think Shiny Doduo is underrated. I think it's a great shiny. My wife likes it. I think it's a cool shiny. Underrated shiny. Double green-headed little bird fella. I think it's pretty darn neat. Next up, this is an unofficial catch event, so this is not hosted by the PokeMMO staff members. So this is I think unofficial events are not allowed on Ironman Purse. That's my rule set, so I will not be doing this on the Ironman, sadly, but it's a really cool event, dude. Someone is hosting, Rosie over here, hosting a Halloween themed catch event, dude. How cool is that? Sunday, October 26th at 4 p.m. ET. Registration starts when this event post opens. It's a very unique one as well. Let me read through the rules. The players will team up in teams of 4 to hunt specific Pokemon with specific natures, levels, and regions. Usually these types of things are revealed during the event, so we'll see what they say for sure though. There will be 15 Pokemon to find, and it's up to the players to divide the tasks among their teammates. The first to find all 15 Pokemon which suit the criteria will obtain the prize. Players should have access to all areas in the game to fully participate. This is an interesting event. They used to do a lot more events like this in Pokemon, but I haven't seen them in a long time. They used to do official events just like this, where they'd be like, okay guys, starting now, the first person to go catch an adamant Geodude and link it to me like gets 100 RP or whatever, right? So this is kind of similar to that, where it seems like they're going to announce when the event starts the full list of 15 Pokemon, and then you have to go catch them. They have to have like the time. You can't be like bred beforehand or whatever, right? Let's read through though. Bonus prize. Persic is the highest IV Mond. It's 500 RP. It's a team catch event essentially, which is very cool. The first 45 minutes, a shiny found equals 200 RP. They can good for the raid. After the 45-minute mark, shiny found equals event nuke plus 200 RP. Your team wins if caught as well. Shiny nuke only counts if the shiny is found and caught in one of the hunt specific locations. Video proof. Blah blah blah. Okay. Participating teams that register under this event will be able to participate. If you do not register, teams that will take priority will take priority on the winning events. So I'm a little confused. There's a lot to read here. Leave a comment here with your team name, names of the 4 players in your teams, and the name of the reserve players, any extra players you might have if something falls through. Only 1 registration per team. You can go read this on the forums. You want to go through this in full detail, you can go check it out over on the forums under the unofficial events page. It is a community held event. I think it's very, very neat. Very cool. That's okay. Did they already reveal? Ooh, wait a minute. Rules with specific are listed below. I wonder if they already released the list of mons that you need? Oh, I thought it'd be like a list released when the event drops. No, this is like, okay, this is actually really cool. So you can go like this is like a spreadsheet simulator type beat. You can go plan out with your 4 teammates, like who's going where, who's going to go get the Mr. Mime, who's going to get the Umbreon. It has to be lore. It has to be one of these natures. It has to be like level 21. Like, this is really interesting. This is very interesting. Like, very, very specific Pokemon. You have to get a lore combustion with naive or jolly nature. This is cool, man. I love events like this. Very unique, very cool. Check it out for more details over on the forums. Next up, this is a really beautiful, cute forum post. And this is the kind of forum post that like just needs more eyes on it. And like a lot of new players may not know about it. This person, Italian Depresso, says, free breeding for new players. Start your journey with your favorite Pokemon. Just starting your PokeMMO adventure. I'd love to help you begin with your favorite Pokemon. I'll breed you a fresh level 1 version of any Pokemon you want. This is just I love this. I don't like giving new players tons of Pokeyen or like tons of like crazy, like a 6x 31 Pokemon. I think it's too much. I've had this happen with other games where like if I had this with like Black Desert Online, with BDO, with Black Desert Online, the game kept pumping me full of like XP boosters and XP bonuses, and I quit playing the game because of that. I want to experience the game as it's supposed to be in its raw form and have that like genuine like leveling experience. I don't like when someone, I think when you give a new player, it's kind of like when you play The Sims and you do a cheat code and you get like $1 million or whatever, all of a sudden like it becomes unfun. You kind of ruin the grind, you ruin the accomplishment, you ruin the point of the game, right? So I think giving new players just a level 1 Pokemon, this is the way to do it. I like giving new players like all the starters. Like I gave a new player recently like all the Kanto starters, like things like that. I think cute little small stuff like that is a great thing to give new players to get them a little more interested in the game but still have a lot of fun. So I think this is really cute, really wholesome, dude. Like you basically just message him in game and he will send you a level 1 Pokemon of your favorite species whenever he can. What a nice thing to offer. Like just a super wholesome thing. Next up, the Vanity Suggestion thread is a thread that has been underrated for a long time, and I haven't really gone through it, so I bet a lot of you guys haven't seen it either. I've been going through it, and I'm going to start going through this Vanity Suggestion. This is like years and years of people doing pixel art and people suggesting different vanities to PokeMMO to add to the game, and I've not seen most of it. This is a post from 2023 for reference. I'm going to be reviving old posts, okay? I love the idea of this little like Turtwig hat. This is fucking sick. This cute little, I've never seen little Turtwig has like a bonsai, you could call it bonsai, I guess, too. Turtwig bonsai, little like tree sapling on the top of his head, kind of like is it Harold from Fallout 2, Fallout 1 and 2. Like this is some good memes, dude. I love this. I love the idea of that. I just wanted to talk about that. And then next up, there's also this, why not? For when I see stuff like this, I think of why not? Oh, more customization in the game. Yes, please. This is Shell as well, posting all back in 2023. I'd love to see more India-themed cosmetics. I know that I have some Indian viewers. They love to come in and be like, hey, what's up? You know, much love from India. Prestige my Indian friends. Why not? When I see stuff like this, I'm always like, hell yeah, more customization. Oh, we can have more control over how we want our character to look. Yes, please. Yes, please, every day of the week. And then next up, someone said, buyable or obtainable move tutor coat. They want the coat. So they want the coat. I actually, personally, I saw this and was like, you know what I want out of that? It's, the coat's fine, whatever. I want the hairstyles. I think something that PokeMMO is lacking is hairstyles. I don't think we have that many hairstyles in the game. You also can't really buy that many hairstyles. You have to like use a mystic mirror to like change them. I think it's part of why the Electric Storm, one of like the most expensive entities, is so expensive. It's one of the only cool hairstyles. There's not that many cool hairstyles in PokeMMO. I would love to see. That's why like I love the afro. Like there's not a whole lot of like cool hairstyles in Pokemon. I would love to see more hairstyles and more exploration with that added to the game. Next up. This is a long post, but I think it covers a lot of stuff. I think I'm going to read through. I'm going to try to add some commentary, but I might skip through certain parts. This is probably the most important post of the day, okay? This post is titled, Money Making, Regions, and the Importance of Catching for Profit. I think a lot of players right now probably feel a similar way, where making money in PokeMMO is hard right now. Like, I wouldn't say harder than ever, but harder than it's been in a few years, I think, for sure. I think that you have the really good strats. You have less variety. We have less variety of money making methods than in the past few years, which is really unfortunate. And I'm a big optimist when it comes to that. I'm a big fan of, like, I think actually people always complain, and I think a lot of times people actually have it better than they think they do. But there are certain instances where there's problems that we have to talk about, we have to solve, we have to critique. So today is one of those instances, in my personal opinion. Let's talk about it. I'll talk about what I agree with, what I don't agree with, yada, yada, yada. Let me also bring this out a little bit so you guys can see the full words. There we go. Let's start with saying that flipping is probably the best money-making method in the game, not including investments. Yes. And before I read any more, it always will be and it always should be. In any game with a market, flipping is always going to be the best money. You literally like can't really stop that. I think it also makes sense. I think if we were to compare from the methods, I'm going to stop there. You probably shouldn't. I I think flipping should be in a league of its own. It's just the potential is too high, and it's so much game knowledge, it's so much market knowledge. It's such a different money making method than any other pure grinding. Anyways, flipping makes it look like a joke. This is true in every single MMO that has a market for the most part, right? What's better, flipping or investments? Flipping, but it takes more time, right? Flipping, you like are actively like, you can spend 10 hours a day flipping if you have the capital, right? And make a ton of money, make like $1 million an hour, right? But depends on the market, depends on your market knowledge. It's not that easy. People the problem is people see people flipping who have spent thousands of hours studying the market, you know, going over the market history and like using the PokeMMO hub investment page, blah blah blah. People see people flipping and making $1 million an hour and think, oh my god, that's so busted. Well, no, this is like the top 0.01% of players. Like, it's so few people that can really make that amount of money. Like, Epoch is always the one that I go to, like one of the best flippers in the game, one of the best money makers in the game. Very, very talented guy. He has spent so many hours learning the market, learning flip. Like, I don't think that should be punished. I think he's making money that he earns. I don't think it should be like, it's not like broken. It's like just effort and knowledge is power. I don't want the flipping's a great thing in the game in my opinion. But anyways, let's continue going. But so flipping is better than investments, but you do both. Investments are a little bit more longer term, and it depends. Flipping, there's more risk, where investments are a bit safer, but it depends on what you invest into. It depends on a lot of things. What makes flipping so strong is there's a lot of that I disagree with here. What makes flipping so strong is you could pretty much do it at any wallet threshold. Kind of, but this is not what makes flipping so strong. If you were to say what makes flipping so strong, it's the money per time investment you can get. That's what makes it so strong. It's the fact that you can buy something in 2 seconds for 200K and then sell it for 400K, you know, and you have to wait for it to sell. That's the downside. People always don't think about the downside. The downside is you don't get the money immediately. It's very like, it's not liquid, right? It's very like net worth kind of value, right? To wait for things to sell. This is not, the more capital you have, the better. You have to have a lot of capital if you really want to make money from flipping. I actually disagree with this. Like, you kind of can do it at any wallet threshold, but like worse than any other money making method. Like, other money making methods require less capital than flipping is the money making method that requires the most amount of money. Like that or investments, right? Like this is not what makes it so strong in my personal opinion. The sky is the limit. That is true. That is true. You can also do other things while flipping. Flipping is kind of just core to MMOs in general, which makes it a very interesting problem to tackle. I don't know if flipping's a problem in PokeMMO, but that's my opinion. At the same time, the audience for flipping is hardcore player base, so it might not be worth it. Just best to leave it alone. Yeah, okay. I guess maybe they're just talking about everything. I think flipping is fine the way it is right now in PokeMMO. I think people often think like, oh, flipping is always just like preying on new players and preying on players who don't know how to price things. I disagree so much. If you've seen me sell things on stream, there are times on stream where I sell things for the absolute max dollar. I'm like, you know what? I have the time. I can wait. I could wait on this sale, blah, blah, blah. And there are times where I'm like, I'm doing a challenge. I actually really need this Pokemon to sell. I need the Pokeyen quicker. Endgame and veteran players like myself will list things. Actually, Epoch just did a video on this recently where he was listing stuff and being like, people are probably flipping me right now, but I want the money sooner. Like that. Endgame players understand sometimes when they list things, they will list it underpriced to get the money sooner and quicker, but at the cost of less profits, right? Flipping is a beautiful thing. It's fixing market prices, and it's game knowledge. It's a lot. I think flipping is an amazing thing in my personal opinion. Anyways, the best daily in the game at the moment is trainers into E4 straight up. Yeah, trainer reruns, E4 reruns, gym reruns. You can do this every 6 hours is what's the Chinese. It's OP, was better than a gym run. I don't agree with this. I don't like the argument of, oh, because you can do it more often means it's better. You make more money in the hour. I think it's actually more important. It's funny, I disagree with a lot of this, but like it's more important to make more money in an hour than be able to do it multiple times. For most people, most people don't do it every 6 hours. Most people don't have 3 hours a day to play PokeMMO, right? If you can, and also, most people don't have time to play PokeMMO when they wake up in the middle of the day at their lunch break and then again in the afternoon. Like, if you have 1 hour, I would do a gym rerun, you know, for sure. But I understand what they're saying about, like, you know, end game stuff. I get it. I get it. I don't want to bring up multi-account runs. Sure, screen OP should be banned. I disagree with a lot of what Alice is saying. I love Alice, but we have a lot of different opinions here. I definitely disagree with this. Entirely. I think more effort should yield more reward. Now there is an argument. I don't like that in PokeMMO. Unfortunately, I really don't like that in PokeMMO. Unfortunately, you have to have multiple devices to be able to multi-log. That's really sad. That's like I don't like there's a financial barrier there. I don't like that people have to like buy a new laptop or buy a new tablet to be able to play. Like that's lame to me. Screencasting is you're allowed to like TeamViewer. You're allowed to use a program that puts like. If you're running Pokemon on your laptop, you can run a screen cap program, which allows you to control your laptop or control that game from your computer. But it's still what's the word? Multiple inputs. It'd be the same as if you hopping over to your laptop to do that. It's not like some people think that screen capping or screen cap is like, oh, you can line up 2 accounts and only do like one input and it will control both. No. You cannot control 2 accounts at once. You still have to like go window by window. It's basically allows it so that you can have multiple accounts on one device to some extent, but like screen capping, so like not really, right? And the reason why a lot of new players might not know this, sorry, this is a long but a lot of new players might not know this, but the reason why that we have it so you can't open 2 PokeMMO clients on one device, part of me wishes we could, but it's a pragmatic argument. The reason why we don't have this is because it almost entirely stops bot farms from entering our game. Why would you ever bot farm PokeMMO, which if you don't know, bot farm is a type of business where they bot MMOs, RuneScape, World of Warcraft, etc., right? They bot MMOs and they make the money, they sell, they RMT, they sell the money for real world dollars, right? And with RuneScape, you can open up like 20 clients, 20 accounts on one computer, and you can just have like 5 computers, whatever. Why would you ever bot farm in PokeMMO when you could only have 1 client up per device? It just halts your bot farm. There's no reason. So what happens is almost no bot farms exist in PokeMMO. Most people that bot or cheat in PokeMMO are real players, genuine players that were tempted to the dark side and cheated, right? And that's why we see so many posts on Reddit, on the forums, etc., being like, oh, I was unrightfully banned, because humans, for some reason, were really bad at admitting when we're wrong. So it's genuine players who are getting banned, but because they actually genuinely did cheat, and then they're like upset that, bot farms don't defend themselves. If bot farms get banned, they just make new accounts and move on, right? But real players always defend themselves, which I understand, but it's a human flaw, and sometimes mistakes happen, don't get me wrong. Anyways, all that covered, let's get back. So we kind of give up the ability to multi-log on one device, sadly, for the sake of not allowing bot farms into the game, which I think is a worthwhile trade. I love the shadow box or like multi-log. I love it in MMOs, one of my favorite things in MMOs. So I don't like it, but I think it's better for the game. It's a thing that you sacrifice for the embetterment of the game. I find it interesting that anyways, back to the post. I find it interesting that these basically share the same audience as flipping, and I'm not sure what to think of this. I mean, it's just hardcore players, right? It shares the same audience as it need to compete with flipping. I'm not sure. I lean towards no, but I also think gyms should be no. Gyms don't need to be buffed. I disagree with this so much. Gyms don't need to be buffed. Gym rerunning is like the best money making method in the game for the most amount. Not for like hyper end game if flipping's better, whatever. But for like the average player, gym reruns are the best money making method. It brings in pure yen. I do not think gyms need to be buffed. I think this is silliness in my opinion. I think the idea is gyms are supposed to be easier than Elite Four but less rewarding. Yeah, exactly. Gyms have an 8-hour cooldown at E4, plus trainers have a 6-hour cooldown. I don't know that many people that do E4 plus trainers. Most people just do a gym run every day. It's just not viable for the average, even myself, right? E4 being better than gyms. E4 rerunning is better than gyms, but it's way harder and it requires way more setup, and you also have to like spend money on items. I think train reruns, E4 reruns, and gym reruns are really balanced right now. I wouldn't want to touch them. I think they're all fine. I think that they're all totally balanced. Anyways, personally, I would be open to the Battle Frontier getting buffed. Now we're on to something. This I am on board with. How many people do you know do the Battle Frontier? This I am on board with. It shouldn't be better than trainers in E4, but I think Battle Frontier should be equal to entry-level Jimmy runs. Maybe. I think that might be... I'm open. That's an interesting idea. I think Battle Frontier being good for money means that you can offer a player an engaging activity that isn't entirely just mashing A. I like the problem is we would find a way to make it just mashing A, like the licky explode strat, right? For like the problem is we're gonna make it. Players are gonna engineer a way to make it as brain dead as possible. That's just what we do to make it as efficient as possible. The other thing is, okay, I like the idea of Battle Frontier being buffed. We don't need and we don't want to buff more pure yen, pure system. I think this article is honestly like on the wrong, focused on the wrong things. We don't need to make pure yen methods better. We need to make catching Pokemon and playing the game naturally better. We need to heal the catching market, heal the IV, and I think they'll talk about that. And we haven't gotten to that yet. I think they're talking about every single aspect of the game, but we need to focus everything on just making catching for profit healthy again and making that a viable method. The only way to do that is to fix alphas. That's how I agree personally. I think nerfing alphas or fixing them, whatever you want to call it, needs to be done. Next up, it could be fine as is, but I did ask someone who grinds, and they did mention they would like a buff. I think Battle Frontier could be buffed. Nothing too big that makes Battle Frontier solvable like E4 gyms, but something nice. I think we make a decent money in the Battle Frontier. I think it'd be good for the game as it varies the amount of activities. I think you could give it a pretty decent buff. To make money, the Battle Frontier should be more for a casual audience. I think you could. Ooh, I don't even know. I even might disagree with that. I feel like, not to be so contrarian today, but I feel like the Battle Frontier could be for like a hardcore PVM player base. I think that's really. I think you could make it like really, really difficult and really interesting. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas there. Anyway. Also, I guess it's worth talking about Ho-Oh. I think as the game ages, Ho-Oh reruns are going to get weaker and weaker. I guess now that it's Zapdos month. Yes, because yeah, this is a good point to talk about. Now that it's Zapdos month, legendary lures are back to being 30k, but I've seen them go down as much as 26k. It's not a huge range, to be fair, 30 to 26. My understanding is legendary lures are a scam. I think it's a systematic problem with lures. Ho-Oh's rewards just seem really niche. Yeah, they're really not worth it money-wise. Ho-Oh's rewards just seem really niche. I think outside of doing it for the first time and for the incubator, they're become less and less. And yup, I only do the Ho-Oh refight on my Ironman account because it's worth there. But like on a main account, yeah, it's not really worth it. We're seeing magma stones with Heatran sink lower and lower, but every day we need a legendary. We need a legendary sink. We need a legendary sink for sure. I think it's really important for the game. I have to imagine this process starts happening with quills to the point where, yep, quills and elemental orbs will just get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I think if we introduce a new money maker, perhaps its target audience would have to be the casual audience and also an activity that doesn't involve matching A. I heard the Abundant Shrine mini game during the Lunar New Year event was good for that. I wish I put okay. So I think LSA has a lot of good intentions, but isn't actually like experienced enough in the game sometimes to offer to like be right on track. But I think they have. I really like LSA. They have good intentions, and I think they're trying to critique things, and like LSA is really trying to make the game better, which even though I disagree with a lot of things in their post today, I think they're really trying to earnestly, and then I trust that LSA will adapt their positions based on what's best for the game, and that's not something I can say for every person in the community, you know, which is tough. I think this kind of mini game of itself, yeah, I am going to be honest and be a little harsh here. I love the PokeMMO devs; they do a great job. I'm appreciative to be able to play the best Pokemon MMO that exists, you know, because of them. I don't know why we don't have a permanent Abundant Shrine raids. I don't know why they're not. I guess it's just balancing of rewards to making the rewards good enough to where it's worth going to and worth grinding every day, but not making it so busted to where like it hurts the economy. That's my only concern. But I feel like permanent raids, permanent Abundant Shrine, dungeons, it's got to happen. It's got to come. I think it'd be really good for the game. I don't know why. I don't know why they're not here yet. I know the hard parts about them, but I feel like they should have hopefully been solved by now. But anyways. Okay. The final paragraph. Okay, we're almost there, boys. I think catching for profit, however, is core to the game. I agree. I think we slip past the fact of like the reason why old school players liked PokeMMO so much. We still do, but like is because the motto of Pokemon was always gotta catch them all. It was always catch Pokemon, rinse and repeat, right? And it was so, and like Pokemon moved away from that. Over the years, they made it so that not every species is in the same, you know, is in the game. Like you know, which I get for logistical reasons, I understand, but it's kind of a bummer when you can't complete the full Pokedex in a Pokemon game where the motto was gotta catch them all, which is why Nintendo actually dropped that motto over the past few years, right? PokeMMO brought that motto back because number one, you can catch all the Pokemon in the game, and all the species, right? Number two, catching for profit is super fucking good, right? Catching for profit is super powerful. Come on. Catching for profit was really good in Pokemon for a long time. And I really like that they made the main gameplay loop of Pokemon and PokeMMO catching really powerful. I think it was really well balanced. It was good for everybody. It was good for new players. It was good for breeding for the new players would catch Pokemon for profit. Same with the mid game players. And then the end game players would buy them and breed them and make profit. It was like a super healthy economy, super healthy market. All right. You don't have to be a hardcore player to engage in it. Absolutely. It gives regions, purposes, and identity. Yes, getting regions done to go farm the mons for profit like Rotom was fantastic. I want to try to answer the best of my ability. What do the regions add to the game fundamentally? I think they add a lot, but we'll see what they say. Under the content you can for profit, I feel like the answer, Unova has berries, Hoenn has Dittos and Phoebus, Johto's just care about Mount Silver. That is true. But also the legendaries, you can't factor in the legendaries. Sinnoh and Kanto are just big question marks. I wouldn't go that far, but Sinnoh is the hardest one to justify. Sinnoh has trainer reruns. I think Sinnoh has trainer reruns, and then Kanto has Safari Zone. Kanto is just decent all around. Kanto has Safari Zone if you're early game. Kanto has good EV training spots and good XP training spots pretty early game. I'm trying to think what else. Kanto is a bit rougher. Etch events are always nice, but yeah, Sinnoh is lacking the most things in my opinion, but Sinnoh especially is a big since there don't seem like there's much to do and pick up. Yeah, the pickup ability not working there. Why? How long has been the case for? Sinnoh has never had a pickup table. I don't know why. I think it has to be like custom coded. It's probably just time and effort. For those who don't know, Sinnoh does not have. Sinnoh Fossils is a good one. Good call in chat outright. Sinnoh does not have a pickup table for payday pickup mons, which was brutal for a long time. However, I don't think it matters. I'm gonna be honest. Payday pickup has fallen off in terms of money making, like so much. I don't think it matters anymore. I think it mattered. Well, it matters for Iron Man. I think it mattered a lot more like 2 years ago, but payday pickup as a money making method has fallen off so hard. I don't think it even matters anymore that Sinnoh does not have a pickup table, unfortunately. Which is really sad. They neglected it for so long that it got power crept and it's no longer a problem. Not that we don't have the underground yet. A lot of people swear by the underground. I don't know anything about it, so I just can't comment. Is the underground even coming to the game? I have no idea. I don't know, and I'm wondering if anyone else has a source that states the underground is something that's going to be part of the MMO. I've never seen the devs talk about it to my knowledge. I think the underground would certainly help Sinnoh with his lack of identity. I do like the conversation around the identity of each region in the game. I think it's really, really interesting. Anyway, surely there's something I'm missing, but I think what the regions add to the game fundamentally is just the Pokemon you can catch there. If suddenly, I think it's a little bit extreme. I think that you're kind of neglecting a lot of things, but I get it. I get the feeling. If suddenly catching for profit becomes viable again, I feel like it would give a lot more. That is true, a lot more life to the game and revitalize it in a way the game probably needs to be revitalized. I really liked this suggestion regarding alphas, because it makes alphas blue. Let me see. Yeah, I think we saw this on stream, right? There's a million ways. At this point, the community has come up with a million ways to rework alphas in a healthy way. We have to just pick one of them. It makes alphas about the core game mechanic of catching for profit. Sinnoh now as a region gets a big boon from this because Sinnoh has a lot of species that want that one might want to catch for profit. Yes, I agree with this a lot. There's a lot of good points. I think this post talked too much about things that are just healthy and good, and we should have just skipped right to the catching for profit. But the problem is we've been discussing, I think it's important in relation, we've been discussing catching for profit, we've been discussing nerfing alphas for so long. I get how it's becoming monotonous. At this point, I feel like we've discussed every angle. We just have to wait until the devs do something. We're just waiting to see what the devs do this event cycle, how they hopefully nerf, rebalance, rework alphas, whatever it may be. They've got to do something. I think it's super important. It's a great thing to bring up. That's the stream recap intro. Just a small, really short, just a quick intro, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to jump at any questions from chat. Like the video if you enjoy it. Dislike if not. Subscribe for daily videos. Follow me on Twitch for streams like this Monday through Thursday. Really important discussion. The most important thing you can do right now as a community member, if you want to impact the game, is just have discussions, have conversations with your friends, and just be open and polite and nice to everybody. Even if you disagree with something, like I disagree with Alice on some things, that doesn't mean they're wrong. It doesn't mean they're stupid. It's just you say, hey, I disagree with this argument, not you as a person because of this and this, and you just kind of talk about why and explain things and talk through the arguments themselves. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let's jump into today's content. Okay, fellas, do I have something to show? Thanks for the sub, Doctor. That's what it was, Doctor. Bro, holy! This was posted in my Discord. Someone said this just got linked in Chinese global chat. This was the recent alpha spawn. Not only is it a SHALPHA, okay? Which is already, you know, wild SHALPHA, really insane, right? It is a secret SHALPHA. A secret shiny. That is really rare. Like, I feel like nowadays I see a fair bit of like SHALPHAs linked in global chat. You know, okay, wild alpha spawn, you know, check your 10 alt accounts, get a SHALPHA, whatever, right? Even though it's one of the rarest shinies, you know, SHALPHAs are still the rarest shinies in the game. Secret SHALPHAs are on a different level. That is like next. I can't. It's so insane, dude. This is so impressive. Congrats to the player at 10,000 encounters. It's a legendary. This is about as rare as it gets. I don't know if there's a, besides like shiny shaman, which is possible in Pokemon, but there's one that no exists yet, which is crazy. Besides things like that, this is up there with like the rare. Maybe the rarest is like secret shiny SHALPHA Ditto, specifically because you can't breed that one, like things like that. But this is crazy. Congrats to the player. Yeah, someone in chat said, do you think there will be a dark horse Pokemon for raids during the Halloween event? And I was like, I don't know what that means. And he basically said a Pokemon that people don't have prepared that all of a sudden becomes really good for like a certain raid. I think there's almost a 100% chance of at least that happening once, but it depends on if they introduce like no new content or like don't change anything, which I doubt. They have changed a lot. Like, they used to not change event seasons that much, but they have changed them a lot over the past like 3 years. The past 3 years they've changed events a ton year by year. I think there's a really high chance that there's like, think of like nobody knew the Darkrai raid was coming, and nobody could have ever predicted that Primeape would become like a raid level Pokemon, a meta Pokemon, because it had Vital Spirit, which allowed it to not be put to sleep from his Dream Void move or whatever, and then also hit him really hard with a fast, strong, physical fighting type attack, right? Like, it's just, there's so many Pokemon in Pokemon, you just can't prepare one of everything for the most part. And like, yeah, like Alpha, the Alpha Suicune raid, for example, when Dry Skin Jinx, Hidden Ability Jinx became meta, like you can't predict stuff like that. It's almost guaranteed that there will be at least one dark horse or whatever you want to call it, one Pokemon that you don't expect to be good for raids that is, I would say 90%. There's a 90%, just my guess, my random number, right? There's a 90% chance that at least one Pokemon this year that very few people have prepared, like all of a sudden becomes meta. That'd be super cool. We'll see what happens, but I think there's a pretty high chance. Dude, we're talking about, it's actually crazy how valuable and how important Hidden Ability Excadrill is to every Iron Man account. Like, it's actually so insane. Having a Hidden Ability, having Mold Breaker Excadrill, for me, it's really good in PvP. I like need a Mold Breaker Excadrill for my PvP team, number one. Number two, it's really good for Elite Four. Like, all the best Elite Four rerun teams use Hidden Ability Excadrill, as well as like other like raids and PVM, and like it's actually like crazy how many things need Hidden Ability Excadrill, and you can only get one. You can only get one per year or whatever, which is crazy. So we're going to factor that in. Now, I'm also over in the cold storage right now because apparently there is a free Rocky helmet over here. I actually have no idea where it's at. I'm gonna go talk to every little orange hat fella I can. This is it. Boom. Okay, also, if you need one, there you go. Free Rocky helmet over in Unova, over in the cold storage area. This NPC right here. Fun little tip of the day. I didn't know that. But that's going to be it for today, fellas. No Entei, not yet at least. Thank you guys for watching. Like the stream if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not. Subscribe on YouTube for daily videos every single day. Follow on Twitch for streams Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET when I go live. Discord down below if you're interested in that. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the content, if my videos have been helpful enough to you, if the guides have been helpful, if there's any guides that you want to see, let me know in the comments. But going above and beyond and supporting via YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations help out tremendously. I could not be here full time without the amount of fan support that I get. It really makes that much difference, guys. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here. You guys do that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day. Good luck in PokeMMO Guides, and I just can't wait for the Halloween event, boys. I can't wait for an update. I'm excited for the future of PokeMMO, even if we're just in that waiting period right now. Thank you for waiting with me. Have a great day. Peace, Reno.
Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.